the microphone first. Let's see how this goes. Testing 1 2. Testing a 1 2. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see how this goes. Testing 1 2. Testing a 1 2. Testing 1 2. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's good, folks. Oh, hold on. Testing a 1 2. Testing a 1 2. Well, we're gonna find out one way or the other. We're gonna find out how good the mic is. I think it's okay. I turned it up and then I turned it down. Let me turn it up a little bit more. Testing 1 2. I don't want to turn it up too much. Ooh, there we go. I don't want to turn it up too much because last time it was a wee bit too loud. I don't want to go there. So, well, we'll see how this goes. Um, Thanks for joining me. It's been a while. Um, it's good to be able to stream live on this here on YouTube, and I know I got a limited light source. I kind of like it dark, and grungy sometimes. You know, I like the flannel look. You know, I like the lumberjack look. I'm going with here. Let me close out some things. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. It's 22, and those who have listened to my James Bond review, I want to thank you, uh, all 11 listeners, including myself, for listening and hanging on. And just, I'm over the 4,000 download goal. And I want to thank you guys for that last year. That was so awesome. So awesome. You guys brought it. And that encourages me to keep going, keep, keep moving forward with the podcast. Just when people thought I was down and out, I'm here. I'm here and I'm swinging away. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold that developed today, and but I'm taking my vitamins. I'm saying my prayers, drinking my energy blue juice, my Dr. Jekyll, or I think this is Mr. Hyde. I think that's what this one is. This one's Mr. Hyde. But in studio, live. If you guys want to type something in, either on YouTube or at hambo.podbean.com, you can. I've been thinking about, where does the podcast go from here? Where do we go from here? And, you know, I'm looking at some guests. Uh, Again, I'm not thinking of getting two guests crazy, and maybe that's my downfall. I like the strength of myself just going. It's always been that. It's always pretty much been about that. And there's some podcasts I listen to where I think the main guest is stronger than having guests on. I stay pretty even keel. The thing is, like, when I do have a guest on, I think that the tone, and it's true with a lot of other podcasts, I think the tone changes, and it kind of, it's hard to maintain that because you're running with the energy of your guest, and you're running with the energy that you have. So it's just different. There's something that's beautiful about the solo experience. I guess I'm always I'm doomed to be a lone wolfer soloist kind of person. That's all right. That's all right. I've learned to make peace with that over the years, and people that have listened to me, I think they've heard the struggle and the hotel room nights and know that you have to face those nights alone, alone in the depths of your own mind. That's where it's at. That's where the battles are won and lost, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm going deep, about as deep as my groggly voice. And I got a few topics to talk about. I just finished watching Boba Fett, which I used to always call him Bubba because I was. It's easy to misinterpret the name, sound of the name. It always sounded like Bubba to me, but it's Boba Fett, and we're I'd see that's 5 episodes into it, and I like it, but I understand the complaints. I understand. I think for one, Boba has his helmet off too much, and you're killing the mystery. And he is talking a bit too much. It's like, okay, he's making mistakes, and he should be smarter than some of the things that he's doing in the show. But he is making. Uh, I mean, for one, he hires a bunch of people off the street and gives them a job, which okay, maybe and he's very charitable. He's he's got a nice streak in this show, which is kind of like, well, I never really took him for like a nice having a nice streak necessarily. Uh, but he's not necessarily an evil person. He's just kind of out for himself. And it's like to me, I always get the sense of like, well, how can you help me kind of guy? If I help you, what can you do for me? You know, and there's a scene where he releases his fellow prisoner, and I'm thinking, well, should he do that? Would he do that? Does that make sense for that character? To me, I think he would have bargained. Like, if I do this for you, how will you help me out? But he just frees him straight up. So I don't know. It just feels like maybe because we don't have enough cinematic material with Boba Fett, that we don't have the groundwork sufficient. But I always felt that he was kind of like he's in it for himself, and it's like, yeah, we need more. I think we need more, and I think the writers kind of need to look at the material that's been made for him to kind of, whether that's comics or the novelizations or the novels that have kind of worked on that character, and they can see that, and they don't have to take exactly from that if they're worried about taking someone else's work. They can be inspired by that and be like, how can we put our spin that's similar to what has been written, uh, that expands his character more. And I think 6 episodes. I mean, they're doing the BBC thing here. It's like that's too little. 6 episodes is a little too less. 8 episodes is fine. To me, that's a sweet spot. You can tell a good, sufficient story. Um, I think if you tell 6 episodes, you really got to know what you're doing. You really do. Episodes gives you a little bit more leniency to kind of like, all right, this kind of went off track, but we can bring it back on for a smooth landing, or we can throw in a couple nuanced episodes. Uh, 10, 10's okay, yeah, but we're getting a little long there. We're getting a little long, but it's not 10 episodes isn't too extraneous. It's not, but any more than 10, it's like that's a lot of episodes. Okay. So you run the course of milking something out when you do so many episodes per season, I'd say. I think it takes a really talented writing group to keep things on track for that long without having filler episodes. And yeah, to me, that's my that's my thoughts on that. So overall, it's still an entertaining show, but not quite as good as I think we all wanted it to be. I mean, when you call something the book of Boba Fett, right? you expect, wow, that's gonna be hardcore. Like they're laying it down. They know what it's gonna be. Like he's gonna be just throwing down um his way, and that's the way it is. But everything we've seen has not been his way, and that's the way it is. That's what's so crazy. It's like it's the complete opposite. It's almost comedic that the things he lets slide. I just don't know. I mean, it's a series isn't over yet. We got one more episode, I believe. So I can't give a complete review. That's my again, I do these half reviews of these TV shows. You catch me when catch me when I'm doing them. So changing gears a little bit, I'll come back to some entertainment stuff. I got another show. Well, I'll talk about in a bit here that I finished. I watched the whole thing. I give you full review on that. Um, Working out. I've developed my own book of working out and working out with a friend of mine. Uh, he's been on this show and a long time ago, and he is. I've been helping him work out and get back on track and develop to lose a little bit of weight and to develop muscle again because he's been out of the gym for a while, and it's been good. It's been good even for me. So I've been able to push myself and work out in the gym more now that I have a workout buddy. And last 2 weeks I've been hitting the gym 5 days a week as opposed to three, or doing three at the gym and then three or two at the at home. And there's nothing wrong with home workouts. You should do a home workout if you can't make it to the gym at the very least. But I think you burn, depending on what your situation is, what kind of house or home you live in, you burn more at the gymnasium than you do at home because there's just more machines or more. You got your treadmills there. It's just going to burn more unless you're hardcore about going for a run outside. It's colder right now. It's January, so uh, you can make it work. But sometimes, more often than not, you're just not going to burn as much. I mean, I got the kettlebells here at home. I even got a mace, but I don't get the mace out very often. Don't really have the room to do the mace stuff. And I just usually go for a walk around the block. I don't run around the block like I used to anymore. But once things warm up, I think I will. Uh, but it's been great. It is great for. This is what working out does for you. That I think just eating and watching what you eat doesn't. I might be wrong on this, but I think exercising gives you the clarity of mind and it resets your whole thinking, your negativity and your uh, pessimism gets reset because you have to you have to overcome physical weights and physicalness of overcoming that mountain of muscle pain and endurance. That once you climb those things, then you can be like, okay, let's do this. I can tackle this problem mentally. I can tackle that problem mentally. It gives you a whole bunch more optimism and it kills your depression, your anxiety, at least for the moment, an hour or two afterwards. And sometimes that's exactly the push over the mountain that you need. If you're dealing with some kind of an addiction, I think it helps a lot to kind of clear that out as well and restabilize and reset your body and your mind chemicals, your body chemicals, all of that. It hits that equilibrium again. I wish I could work out every single minute of the day. I would just it would be just be an endorphin, never-ending endorphin rush. And I wish that it tied into making money. You know, it's just like it's sad that even though you know you work out, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good at making money. That's a whole nother skill, talent thing that you have to learn. And I've been learning about stocks, ETFs, that kind of thing, because at the end of the day, just saving money alone isn't enough. It's a terrible truth. Yes, pay your debts off. Yes, save some money, but yes, have an emergency fund. But putting that money to work for you somehow, doing the traditional things and learning about that, even though I'm not that kind of person, I'm an artist. It's still good to learn about those things and just ease into it oh so slowly, very slowly, bit by bit, baby steps, taking action. But anyway, this isn't a money show. Um, I just wanted to I wanted to tell you that's kind of what's been going on in my life. I've been hitting the gym a lot more. And when you hit the gym a lot more, you watch what you eat because you want to eat better. You don't want to eat a whole pizza after you work out, you know? You really don't. You want to eat something healthier. So, to those that can just eat fine and great, that's good, and keep a good attitude, I think the working out, it clears your mind. And I don't think I can't really do that by eating well, even if I tried. Anyway, by just eating well. Uh, Rage 4, my comic Rage 4 is, boy, it's right there. It's really close. It's really close now. I just might have one more proof to do, or maybe not. I might release it as is because some of the pages came out a bit lighter than I wanted them to be. So I might send it back to the printer, have them a little bit darkened, but everything's there as far as the wording and all that. So I'm going to have Rage 4 is going to be the normal version with the word balloons, and then I'm doing a silent version, which is just it's just the panels, which I think it works better more as a silent version. So looking forward to that. Also coming up with some ideas for Rage 5. And I think Rage 5 is going to be a big deal because Rage 4 is a little bit light. Uh, it's not a long one. It's one of my shortest, probably the shortest one I've done. But it's a good lead up to a heavier story, and it's going to be self-contained. Each of these episode issues coming out to about number 10 is going to be self-contained stories. After Rage 10, I'll probably take a little break from Rage until I can get things together and be re-inspired by the character to do another 10. I think I'll do them in probably like 10 each 10 issues, 10 issues until I feel like okay, I don't know what else to do with that character, or it feels like comes to a natural conclusion. Uh, I still have plenty of origin story to tell. I don't know if I'll ever tell his complete origin. I think if you give complete origin, I think that's too much. I think I might just give enough origin. But I'm still kind of messing around with that. I should write the complete origin for myself at least. But anyway, if you're curious about any of my Rage comics, you can go to indieplanet.com, I believe. Let me take a look. And I think the link, you can check out my website. It's got the link. You can see Rage number 1 that I did many years ago. Indie Planet. Yeah, indieplanet.com. Check out The Adventures of Rage. Um, you can download one for 99 cents. And I have I got issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3 out. Issue 4 should be coming out this year as soon as I get things settled. And I'm happy with the final quality of the comic. It's very tricky putting comics together. It's not easy. Um, not at all. I'm looking at the mic. Looking at the mic. Hopefully, it's picking me up okay on YouTube, but we'll see. We'll see again. I'm not gonna make this a super long episode, and my episodes are usually pretty short. Um, Woody Bush entered the live studio. Hey, how you doing, Woody? Thanks for listening. Um, Flipbook, Flipbook videos. A friend of mine talked to me about, hey, why don't you do a flipbook? And I've been doing that. I just finished a flipbook video for my YouTube channel, 10-second cartooning, and I'm looking forward to putting that up in a couple weeks. It's finished. I finished one with watercolor pencils. That's gonna be it's coming up pretty soon. But the flip book, I'm kind of experimenting with that, and I might do something rage oriented with the flip books. I think I might do something akin to a preview for Rage 4. Um, but I'm experimenting with that flip book stuff. I have a few other ideas inspired by other writers to make a flip book based on some of their work. There's some great flip book videos on YouTube, astonishing ones. There's a really good Avengers one that a guy did with Thanos and Iron Man and all that. It's incredible. But I don't know if I'm going to be doing that because that guy kind of already did that. I'm kind of doing my own thing with the flip book. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll see how many people watch it, how many people are interested in that for me to keep going with it. But check out 10-second cartooning. That's my other YouTube channel. I also have a role playing game channel, solo role playing game channel. If you're interested in that, uh, I do games using the Mythic emulator and Hero Quest. And right now, I'm doing one called Christmas uh, Cop Nights, which is a modern kind of like a role playing game that uses Die Hard and the Lethal Weapon genres, as backdrop. That's you're playing cops pretty much, cops and robbers. And the one I'm doing it's called Solo Quester. That's the name of the channel. I'm concluding a Christmas episode. Kind of takes place between Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. And I'm kind of working on that and adding a couple of parts to it. So we'll see how that goes. Um, and this is it. But this is the Mustang 7. This is a hodgepodge channel. This is the home of the Ham Palace and my longer drawing videos and my short films and my stand-up comedy. I have some stand-up comedy from I think 2019, I believe, before everything went crazy there, and I might put that up. But I guess we'll get to it. Cobra Kai. So I watched all of Cobra Kai. Spoilers. This is going to be spoilers. Um, I really enjoyed Cobra Kai season 4, I believe. And I tell you, I think I really like Thomasine Griffith. It's so great. He did an excellent job. I was well written in the show. They gave him plenty of screen time, and I was really happy about that because I know with Chosen they didn't really give him that up much. They gave him maybe an episode and a half. So with this, I thought it's great because they made him a big part of the storyline. So awesome. Um, some good stuff in here. In there, there's I like they're trying to integrate, Eagle Fang and Johnny's trying to integrate Daniel's style and vice versa, and then see there's a lot of twists where you don't expect it, that their styles they can't come to an agreement and make it work, so they split up. They try to make things work with the Eagle Fang, but Daniel's too stubborn. He just sticks to his Miyagi ways, and so they end up kind of doing their separate thing, and so they're kind of there's a lot of craziness in this one. There's a scene where Johnny is training his students and he wants them to jump over a skyscraper like over like a they're on top of a building, but he wants them to jump to the next building, and the only thing under there in the alley is just a bed, and like it's like 100 feet down, and he wants them to jump, but this isn't just like a I don't know 5 foot or 4 foot gap between buildings. It's like a 15 foot gap between buildings. And he wants them to jump over that, which is so crazy and it's so over the top. Like they're not superheroes, they're not Spider Man. And there's a scene where Daniel's daughter, she goes for it. It's like she puts up a big fight about it, but then she goes for it at the last minute and she jumps. I'm like, there's no way. Not even a long jumper can make that. That was so there's definitely some over the top silliness to it. The fighting is very, again, very dance like, and I think that's one of my main criticisms of the show. It's just the only time it feels realistic with the fighting is when Daniel and Johnny are fighting, and it just when the teenagers fight, it's just so choreographed, you know. But the story does have some good beats to it. There's some good twists and turns you don't expect, and they are kind of working on the characters how they are, and they flesh them out about a lot more, which is hard to do with teenager characters. But it takes a lot of patience on the viewer's part to kind of get into them, uh, because really, to me, I'm about more invested in Johnny and Daniel's story, the older characters, and Terry Silver and Crease. They bring. I like that dynamic. I mean, that's what we really showed up for, and I mean, everyone's great. Everyone's great in it. Uh, Again, I don't want to. There's spoilers, but man, Terry Silver. It's great that he's back. Yeah, I feel like there's that scene where he beats the crap out of Stingray, and he gets drunk, and it's just such a great scene where he goes, "Oh, you want to join Cobra Kai, huh? You want to join Cobra Kai? You want to join Cobra Kai?" And he just keeps saying it, and he beats the crap out of it. He puts the guy in the hospital, and like it's such a heavy scene, and so it's a good cliffhanger. They're great at the cliffhangers in each episode. So, and I love the military background flashback stuff. So yeah, I wasn't disappointed. I think overall it was very good. Tom Sean really brings it. I'm so glad he's back. I want to see the man get more work from this. He's quite a bit older now, but he's still got it, man. It's so cool. So cool. Um, and Kreese is good. I mean, Kreese, he the guy that plays him is he's excellent. He's so good at playing that character. So good stuff there. There's a silly dance scene that plays, you know, a song that you hear on the radio, but the song uses, I was thinking today, it uses saxophone in it, which is how often do you hear saxophone music in today's music? So I gotta admit that that's cool to bring back the sax. And but there's a dance scene where they're all dancing. It's very choreographed. It felt very Dancing on the Stars, Dancing with the Stars. But also, what else? Oh, there's something else. But yeah, I feel like they could easily do do a movie at this point now with the characters. So maybe they will. Maybe they will. But good stuff. Cheesy stuff. There's a lot of cheese. If you can get through the cheese and just see it through, I think Daniel and Johnny, their parts are still, the actors playing them they're still very strong in those parts, and it's still there. There's still some good story dynamic there. So maybe I'll touch on that a bit more in further episodes. But I know there's something else I was going to say. It's escaping me. I hate when that happens. You think of something good and it just gets away from you. Um, No UFOs last year. I didn't see any UFOs last year. I know this is out of the blue, um, but the last, Daniel and I, we talked about, we have a paranormal segment of the show. I haven't seen any last year, uh, or most of the year before that. So that's weird. Then all of a sudden now I don't see things in the sky moving around that can't be explained or can't be written off as airplanes and helicopters. So that's strange. So hopefully I'll see. I don't want to say I want to see something, because if you say I want to see something, then you're too easy. It's easily for you to write things off as, oh, well, now you're just looking for UFOs. But it's, it's kind of when you see something out of the ordinary, a few times in a row, it's pretty dang neat. It's pretty neat to ponder and think about, and it's definitely out of the ordinary. So again, I'm gonna be aware, but I'm not gonna be like always just like, I hope I see one. I hope I see one. Because you can't be like that. You can't be like that, because then you start to, blind yourself by things that could look like UFOs, but they're not. Though I got a pretty good sensor on me, though. I got a pretty, pretty good at detecting what's usual and what's unusual. I mean, I had a rock thrown at me from nowhere, for Pete's sakes, at my windshield. So, actually, the hood of my car, it was hit the hood of my car. But anyway, so maybe I'll do another gym pod just for the heck of it. I got better headphones now. For I got a new iPhone. I just use it as an iTouch, really, but uh, I might record another one since you guys listened to the pod in the gym, which I thought was pretty funny. It got as many listeners as it did. Also, I got to start reading from my Missing 411 book. And, but again, just wanted to keep it short. This is pretty normal length for the show. And thanks for listening. Let me know in the comments what you think, either if you're at the YouTube channel, or at my Podbean channel, hambo.podbean.com. And if you're at hambo.podbean.com, go to the banner at the upper left, go check out my YouTube channels. And the one for the podcast is Mustang 7. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And here I is, looking at you, kids. Let's make this 2022 the best we can make it. Let's live in strength. Let's have fun. Let's take it back. And may you all have long days and pleasant nights.